Hey guys, how are you? Chef Ben Walanka here again, guys, for another fun little taster for Cinco de Mayo coming up today, I think, right? Cinco de Mayo, guys, enjoy it. So today we're gonna be doing something that's a really fun and easy side slash salad slash something just delicious to eat as an appetizer for Cinco de Mayo. Today we're going to be preparing a roasted zucchini and tomato salad with queso fresco and cilantro. What's really cool about this dish, guys, is that, as the weather's starting to change, a lot more things become available. Tomatoes are available all the time, but they're not always great. Sometimes they're not gonna be as sweet, sometimes the color's just a little off, but as the weather's beginning to change, tomatoes starting to really sweeten up. So today, basically half of our dish is gonna be cooked. We're gonna take some of that zucchini, we're gonna take some garlic, we're gonna saute it a little bit, but then quickly cool it. The sauteing will just help take a little bit of the crunch off of it and then offer a little bit more seasoning and flavor. Once it's cooled, we're gonna mix the remaining items together, finish it with queso fresco, a little salt and pepper, and delicious. Now this is a dish that you guys can use as a salad. You could put some tortilla chips out. It could be used as kind of like a large diced salsa. There's a lot of things that can be done here, guys, but it's a great foundation. So what do you say we get started, all right? All right, guys, here we go. We have our beautiful roasted zucchini, tomato, and queso fresco salad with fresh cilantro. So as you can see, I've got the ingredients all laid out here, guys. Nothing too complicated. All things that are really available at the local store. And guys, everything here are things that you are familiar with the exception of maybe the queso fresco. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that real quick. Queso fresco is absolutely incredible cheese that has a really unique texture and a really unique flavor. A lot of times using something like a queso fresco or like a feta cheese, things like that, the cheese also offers a seasoning element to the dish, not only that texture and then the flavor of the cheese itself. So in this scenario, where, like I said before, we're gonna be cooking part of the dish, cooling it, and then mixing the rest of the items together to sort of have this complete dish at the very end. So I'm gonna walk you through all the steps, but the very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our saute pan hot over here. So going through our different ingredients here, guys, we're gonna start off with our vine-ripe tomato, something that you can see at the local store. I've gone ahead and I've diced it up where I've taken the seeds out of it. It's an important thing. You don't want the inside of the tomato. Now, any chef friend of mine or people I've worked for in the past would wanna kill me for saying what I'm about to say. But guys, if you are looking for ease and convenience, if you're looking to not have a tremendous amount of prep time here, you can just go ahead and you can buy diced tomatoes, usually in the container right in the produce section. You could buy zucchini that's been cut into kind of like carrot stick size, and then you could just dice it yourself. So there's a lot of ways that you can cut a little bit of time off of this dish here to make it really, really quick, to say the least. But this is about cooking, this is about doing something fun. So if you have a few extra minutes, take the time to get some really good quality product and break it down yourself. So you've got some delicious diced, juicy, vine-ripe tomatoes here. I've got some zucchini here from the local store that I diced up, a little bit larger than the tomato itself. I've got some white onion that I've diced up. I've got some pressed garlic that's been diced up. I've got chopped cilantro. I've got the queso fresco, which we spoke about before. And I've got my salt and I've got my pepper here, guys. So pretty much I've got everything I need. So right now my pan's getting hot over here on my electric burner. I know I keep saying electric burner because it's upsetting to me. I like the gas burners, but we got an electric burner here. Pan's getting hot. I'm gonna start off by putting a little bit of oil in the pan. Now the oil in the pan needs to get hot for a second. There's no reason to rush it. The amount of oil is only about 2 or 3 ounces of oil, guys. There's no real reason to put too much in there because this is a very, very quick cooking process of the zucchini, the onions, and the garlic. All right, guys, the pan's hot, the oil's in it, that 2 to 3 ounces of oil like we talked about. The tomatoes are not cooked here, guys. The only thing we're gonna cook is the zucchini, the garlic, and the onion, and we're only gonna cook it for a very short amount of time, so make sure you guys follow closely. All right, guys, we don't want it to be raw, and we don't want it to be mushy, so it's gotta be a little less cooked than al dente, if we all know what that is. But so follow me, we're gonna see if we can get this thing done correctly here. All right, guys? So first we're gonna start off with our onions. That's been put into the pan. You can hear that song coming from the pan. You know it's the right temperature. We're gonna add our garlic. We're gonna cook those two things together until they get pretty much caramelized, a little further than other dishes that I've done before. So we wanna take these onions down with the garlic to the point where they do have a decent amount of color. But again, that smell, the smell will tell you where the vegetables are at. Let's check out. So using my wooden spoon, my pan, I'm cooking my onions with my garlic together. I'm gonna add a little bit of pinch of salt and pepper. Anything you cook, guys, make sure that you're building the flavors and you're building the seasonings throughout the process. Don't just add it at the end. It doesn't quite work like that. So a little pinch of salt and pepper with the onions at the very beginning. I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna continue to cook, and again, I got an electric range here, so I'm gonna try and make sure that nothing burns, and I really can't adjust the heat. So if you have an electrical range, just keep your eye on it, that's all. And don't just leave it cooked, because if it get overcooked, you're not gonna have the most desirable finished product, all right, guys? All right, guys, our garlic's in there, our onions are in there, I put a pinch of salt and pepper in here. Let's add the zucchini, and then, we'll almost be done. Now, I can tell right now that in my pan, I need a little bit more oil, all right? So I put a little bit of oil in there. I started to cook the vegetables. I can tell it's a little dry, so I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of oil in there because you really wanna hear that noise coming from the pan, but you also wanna make sure the zucchini gets some really good color. All right, guys, good news. We're ready to go. I'm ready to take the zucchini, the onions, and the garlic off the heat. I'm gonna cool it down in my refrigerator. Usually takes about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes in the refrigerator. Then I'm gonna assemble it all in a bowl, season it, finish it, garnish it, and we're gonna eat it, all right, guys? So just so you guys can see what it looks like here, I want you guys to see that I've caramelized the zucchini just a little bit. If you can see, guys, I've got the onions, I've got the garlic, I've got everything in here. It's got a little pinch of salt and pepper. There's not too much oil, but I can tell by the way the zucchini looks with that little bit of color that this process is done. I don't wanna cook it any further because then I'm gonna have a mushy end result. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna put this in a pan. I'm gonna throw it in the refrigerator, but magic of camera. I've got a dish already done, guys, so I'll show you how we're gonna finish it right now. All right, guys, so the pan is done. I've got my zucchini, my onions, and my garlic all ready to go. Now, we still have to mix in the tomatoes. Now, you don't wanna cook the tomatoes because the minute the tomato gets hot, it's gonna fall to mush right away. But what's kind of neat is that the residual heat from the vegetables that were in the container while they were cooling, we're gonna pull that out and we're gonna then add the tomatoes and the cheese and everything, all right, guys? So I'm gonna take my vegetables here. I'm gonna add the vegetables to my bowl. Now this here, guys, is hot. I just pulled it out of the pan. So this is what you're gonna wanna put in the refrigerator and let it really, really cool down, okay, guys? So I'm gonna add this in the fridge, and then I'm gonna fast forward, I'm gonna bring it out. We're gonna finish the dish with all the ingredients here, all right, guys? All right, guys, our zucchini is cooled down enough. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to finish this at home. This delicious Mexican zucchini, tomato, and queso fresco salad, all right, guys? So we've got our vegetables in here, as you guys can see. I'm gonna add my tomatoes. Okay, guys? I'm adding some chopped cilantro. Remember, guys, salt and pepper and everything, very, very important. Remember, guys, salt and pepper inside everything. It's very important, but don't overdo it. For this particular situation, guys, remember that the queso fresco has an element of saltiness to it. Not very much, but just enough where you gotta be mindful with the salt and pepper, okay, guys? So I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt and pepper to this. I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna take my fresh lime. I'm gonna put it on my board, I'm gonna roll my lime on the cutting board because that way it breaks up the fibers inside, get more juice. I'm gonna take my lime juice here, I'm gonna squeeze it in. I'm gonna take my queso fresco here, guys. I would say queso fresco after you've broken it up. When you open the wheel of queso fresco, it comes in like a hockey puck, kind of a circle. You wanna break it up with your hand, put it in a container. You don't wanna try and add too big of pieces to the mix itself because it'll be hard to break up without breaking up all the tomatoes. So I'm gonna add my queso fresco to my bowl. I like cheese a lot. Okay, a lot. I really like cheese. I'm gonna add this in here. Okay, we're gonna take our wooden spoon. We're gonna mix this up a little bit like this. Now, I wanna reiterate one more thing, guys. I like it spicy. That doesn't have to be the case for everyone. As you can see here, if you wanna dice up some jalapenos and you wanna throw this into the cooking process before you add the tomatoes, it's a great addition. If you don't like it too spicy, make sure you take the seeds out of your jalapenos though. All right, if you dice it up and you get seeds into the dish, you're gonna have a lot more heat on your hands than I think you originally planned for. So here we got some of the zucchini. Here we got some of the zucchini. We got the tomatoes with the queso fresco. I went ahead and I added my lime juice. I added my salt and pepper. I added my cilantro. I'm gonna come over here, guys. I'm gonna give it a taste. Remember, this isn't something that is still cooking in the oven, so we can sort it out right away. You always wanna taste your food. For me, it needs a little more cilantro, and then it's good to go. All right, guys, we've come to the end of the dish. It was easy, pretty quick, not too many ingredients. We have our beautiful Mexican salad of roasted zucchini, tomatoes, queso fresco, cilantro, garlic. Doesn't really have a name. It's just a lot of really delicious ingredients put together in the right way. Easy dish, one pan again. I think it's real important that you keep your cleaning to a minimum. As little dishes as possible so that way you can spend time focusing, having a good drink, and partying with your friends on Cinco de Mayo. Anyways, our finished product is here, guys. Right? You've got the beautiful tomatoes, you've got the zucchini, the queso fresco. Eat it with tortilla chips. You could hollow out a zucchini and roast it in the oven and then put this on top of it and then slice it into pieces. There's a whole number of different options that you can do. But this is the most basic part of it, guys. Once you try this at home, you get more comfortable with doing different variations of it. Anyways, guys, I know this looks good. I'm ready to eat. Thank you again for being with me today, guys. Here for DesireList TV. My name is Chef Ben Walanka. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Please be safe, guys. Please keep playing with food, and we will see you next time, guys.